hop out the Porsche, shake that, got that on menus, the a la carte. Boy, I had to make my point about this wave. Watch for the sharks bounce, sharks bounce. I gave it up and talking Cuban links. Tell her ain't no weak link in my Cuban link. Only like my age. We was gangin' since the platinum FUBU days. I got dreams of being Hova, out your movie, yay. Listen, babe, so good you'll think I'm cool with yay. Okay, my diamonds dancing.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Lucky 56. Gone.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Sturgis for the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll run here with Ballage. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big gain of 31 on third down. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. They run it with Balaj. Shrugs him off. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Here we go.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan, down to the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This one caught left side by Cooper. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kalen Balaj, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Shifts past him at the 45. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. They had a little courage there to call the run, and, boy, they were successful.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll run it here. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been long.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. Point after now from Sturgis. Sturgis adds the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Corey Liggett makes the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Balazs, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
You got 56 there.
Here we go on 4th down with Carr. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Looking to throw. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down.
Now, this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And taken right at the 35. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Now this time he'll look to throw. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20, 10. Gonzalez to add the PAT. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Cooper was the target there. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Sturgis for the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now here come the Raiders. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football.
Now the ball comes loose, and this is recovered by the Chargers. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And they'll go on the ground. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On the carry, it's Logan. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll throw with Carr. Trying to lay one up deep. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he is all the way up past the 25. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Williams. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. They'll look to throw. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the 1st down. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They'll look to throw here. Throw right side, complete to Williams. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now back to throw. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st. They'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet, but not a whole lot of space down at the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. He'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the 1st half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the 1st target of the 2nd half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
All right, now, look at 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now they'll run it on the toss. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Carr. And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 48. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
Factored in.
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 39. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Back to throw. Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Simmons. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a nice gain at 21 yards. To throw is Carr. That is caught inside the 5. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. This Charger defense continuing to hold the line. Now it's a 3rd and goal situation. Here's a run with Balaj. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. They'll try and run with Balaj. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
Now a toss coming right side. It's Logan fighting for the pylon, but he's not going to get there. He's marked out a yard shy of the goal line. So now with little time remaining, they'll have this and maybe one more play. And this is going to be taken in by the Chargers, and it appears they're going to win this football game. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches...
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. A lot of scoring, there's no doubt about that in this one.
Look,
I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, had to give them my dues. Never got to talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line of abusing this deer. I hate to do it with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, my ex her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us where the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix of Autobots and mixed with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now.